Welcome to 1984, my new podcast series where we will talk about the world without filters. Today we share the mic with me, Anna Lipina, professor at Ranepa University and also head of the English language department at the same university. Hi Anna, how are you doing?
Hi there, thank you for inviting me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Don't you hear this TikTok?
What is it all about? Tell me.
Really? Brexit is coming.
Whoa.
This can be the motto this month, as far as you know. Even Her Majesty the Queen seems gave up about this theme and declared 2 days ago that the main priority of her government is to deliver this Brexit on time and as agreed with citizens.
Breaking news. And what you're going to talk about today?
We are going to talk a bit about Brexit, but I want to focus about the main person, the anchorman of this Brexit, Bojo. But I have a question for you.
Yeah, please.
Did you never try to search on Google about yourself?
Do you want a frank answer or do you want me to lie?
Of course, a frank answer.
Okay, so of course, when you feel that maybe something is going on or maybe there are some rumors, and of course, like you just I did that maybe once or twice. I typed in my name and my surname and maybe the keyword like gossip or something else.
Okay, great. And did you never try to change a bit the result of that?
No,
You never be stimulated to say, okay, I want that this news change the place in the searching list.
In my case, I would never say that I have ever wanted, because I'm not that high flyer. I'm not a president or another parliament member. So I don't know. Could you tell me, really?
So this can sound a bit a conspiracy story, but or theory, let me say. But somebody is telling that Boris Johnson is trying to fool Google search results.
No way, really? How?
It's easy. It can sound easy.
Should I write this down?
Okay, we will talk about it today. He's trying to downplay the search result of Google. How?
Yeah.
Seeding news in the internet.
No way.
For example, in June, maybe you heard about, he's tried to talk about his hobby. So a journalist during an interview asked
something
like, Prime Minister, Mr.
Something
Johnson.
connected with buses.
Yeah, you remember well. He was asked, what's your hobby? I say, I try in my free time to paint buses out of wine boxes. And when I was listening to this interview, I say, really? Bojo painting buses out of wine boxes? And then, what was the main news? Boris Johnson is painting buses out of wine boxes, and this is the main hobby. But then I was thinking, keywords, buses, hobby.
Painting was.
No, but the painting was
it
not
another word, or it
no, just buses and hobby. So the news, everybody start to tape, to release this news, Boris Johnson buses. But do you remember the campaign about Brexit that Boris Johnson delivered?
Yeah, it was also connected.
Was this European Union branded buses with this
going around?
Yeah, going around London and saying that we are giving to the European Union 340 £1 million for a week.
Yeah, Okay, so they wanted people to have it in
But
their
this is
head.
a scam.
Absolutely.
This is absolutely a scam because it's not true. And the funny thing is that every time you have to blame somebody about money, you use around a precise number. 340 million.
Yeah, because you have to be exact.
Never you use like, I don't know, 335.2 pounds. Never. Every time round numbers. And this is the first. But in September was an allegation that he started to quarrel with his girlfriend. You know, he's very like unpredictable. Yes.
Let's put it like that.
And his neighbors called police. Called police. The police once like closed and said, okay, it's Bojo. Like,
Yeah.
So, what's happened? That 2 weeks ago, he released a statement close to police, talking about police. What was the news? That he tried to associate his image to police. Okay, this can be like, you can, I think, okay, what's the connection? No? So, other thing. Do you know
So this is the third case.
the second case.
When he tried to do that, okay.
You heard about the gossip that he has an affair with Jennifer Arcuri, this model, and so on. You know, Brits love gossip. The daily,
all the papers are.
all the
about
papers,
that,
all the magazine about.
Okay,
about
not
it.
all, but yeah,
okay.
people like
I mean,
this. Thanks.
Sun, Daily Mail, I think, are full of gossip. You know better than me
Sunday
because
Post, yeah.
Sunday Post. So there was this gossip, and then he a couple of weeks ago again released a new interview telling that I'm a model of restraint. I said model of restraint? Okay. And then keywords, Googling Boris Joe and model.
Okay.
Again,
Direct connection.
Direct connection. The other was the last about the keeper. You know about the keeper?
This is a person who works on a boat race.
Yeah.
Am I right?
Yeah. Sailors. We can say.
Okay. But maybe
So,
not a sailor.
Not
but
a sailor, but a keeper,
okay,
like
yeah.
close to the fisherman, between a sailor and
okay,
fisherman.
okay.
So, but what's the nickname of UK hippie sustainable? Keepers. So the fun of the Farage parties are called keepers.
Oh my goodness.
You see, let's make like Boris Johnson seems a guy that you will not give him a penny. But he is smart. He's a former journalist.
Okay.
He's a former journalist. After he got his degree, he started to work for the Times. Then he was kicked out. You know why? Because he was packing his news, his stories. He's a storyteller, okay? He was sent then in Brussels because seems strange, but he's a convinced Eurosceptic. So he's against the Europe. All his life he was against the Europe. So he was sent to Brussels, and he was a great storyteller. If you search one of
and he's using
best,
his like some of the best characteristics.
Yeah. He's a storyteller, so he's
like his education
and he's using the same approach, being a mayor of London. If you remember when he was a mayor of London, then he used the same approach. Being a Minister of Foreign Affairs, I was shocked when he came in Moscow at Plekhanov University. I had the pleasure to meet him, and he started to say in the public, we have to change the relationship with Russia. I say, great, I was applauding. Thank you, Mr. Johnson. And then he say, we have to be more tough against Russia. Really?
Excuse
Are you
me?
serious? You are telling this to Russian students at one of the leading university?
Yeah.
I say, okay, he's like a bit fucked up. But
Whoa.
yeah, come on. And somebody is telling that, you know, his hairstyle a bit like crazy. He's doing especially this hairstyle.
Because this is part of his image.
Yeah.
Of being reckless.
Yeah, like a bit
unpredictable.
impro guy,
Yeah,
but he's
yeah.
not improvisating anything. He's a storyteller. He's a communicator. Okay? So, coming back to our story, no? About the downplaying the coverage of his bad news
Okay.
and changing the results, there are two theories about this. There are the guys that say, you know, Google is not that
Smart.
stupid.
enough.
No, it's not that stupid. It's the opposite. You can't fool Google that easily. And the other part say, yes, you can fool Google that easily.
Yeah, because
but if you start to flood and you start to search, the algorithm can help to do this. But there is another issue. The result of Google, you never try to search something in Rush and being abroad.
Yeah, for sure. All the time.
You find the same result.
No, the results are absolutely different.
The result are
Yeah,
absolutely
and it
different.
depends on the
Why?
country.
Because the
we're in.
geolocalization is changing the result, and also another things. If you have a Gmail, account, and you are logged, it changed the result. So if you are logged in or logged out, it changed. I try to, you know, I'm not that high-tech guy, being a professor of international relations and politics, but now I'm getting interested about this and I'm studying a lot, and I try to experiment these things, and it's true. It's true, but the question is like, why she's doing that? Why she's trying to do that?
But he's trying to reinforce his image.
Of course, but he's not doing it by himself. He has a team behind,
Of course.
and every time that they see that on internet there is some news connected to him that is eating the net, so hitting
Poisoning
the web,
from their point of
poisoning
view.
from their point of view, they say, "Hey, Bojo, today you talk about this."
So, and he raises the issue and
Yeah,
distracts
he's
people
trying-
from something bad that was like.
Yeah,
spread
because
on the
first of
internet.
all, who is more concerned about Brexit? Who is more concerned about the future? So the UK people. And I want to suggest you a book,
Okay, tell me.
a great book, Why We Get the Wrong Politicians. It's a great book. It's a bestseller. And I advise you to read because you understand how the political system is working nowadays in the UK, at least in the last 15 years. So, Bojo, to summarize our first podcast, is trying to downplay the research result of Google. He's doing well? He's doing right? We don't know.
But,
We
I
don't
mean,
know that.
But he does it very professionally, that's for sure.
He's trying hard, and he's getting the news. So we will see if the people in the next election will pay him back his strategy or no. So Anna, thank you very much for helping me, and
No, the pleasure is mine. I've learned so many things.
I want to do one thing unexpected, but I promise to myself that this first podcast I would like to dedicate to Palina, a student of us that unfortunately left us.
Yeah.
Bye, Palina.